Hi everybody, it's Andrea, aka Violet Kitty 411, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who has been engaging with comments, likes, and subscribing. You know I appreciate it so much because doing this project is so much more fun with an engaged audience. So we are back in the building side of Old Town for another family redesign, and this is one that I've been excited about and somewhat dreading. So we are actually going to do one of the most iconic houses in The Sims 1, one that we all love and somewhat hate. So let's get into it. So today we're going to be doing the Goth House, and when you first start playing The Sims 1, it looks like a pretty big house compared to the newbie house, but then when we add Live and Large, and the Meshuggah house is so much bigger, and you've got the downloadables, the Valentinos, Snooty Patooties, Maximus, and all the others, all of a sudden this house isn't that impressive. And when you consider the lore behind the Goths, that they're supposed to be old world money, it's just not big enough. So I had a couple ideas. One was that I put a poll on Facebook to see if I should keep them in this house or possibly move them into another. One of the options I had was this one right here, the Walden Estate that ships with Unleashed, because it's kind of got that vibe, you know, a little bit disjointed, kind of enjoy it. So that was one that I thought of. Another choice that I had was this one over here, which is the big house found in Creepy Hollow that ships with Making Magic, because a lot of players would move them into this house after the Goths achieved enough magic coin. And according to her busting out bio, Bella is from a long line of mystics, so it made sense. But in my Facebook poll results, the overwhelming response was that I should attempt to redesign this. However, it's not big enough, so I came up with an idea. So I am going to keep the same basic shell, but I'm going to increase the floor plan either by 2, 3, or 4 times. So let's see what the Winds of Fate have for the Goths. It's twice, not a problem. Looking forward to it. So in order to increase the floor plan by twice, I'm going to multiply each dimension by 1.43, because if you multiply each dimension by 2, you actually quadruple the floor plan. So there we go. That's what we're going to be working with. Okay, so here is our family, and we've got the Pleasant View Bella over here that I extracted, as well as Pleasant View Mortimer, aged backwards, and Cassandra is actually a mixing of them, so what she looks like is anybody's guess. I do have familial relationships with the Elder Goths as well as with Michael Batchelor. And here is the house as it stands. It is one of the few I never built long time ago, so it has not been played and depreciated. But here it is. It's pretty much a tile for tile representation of its original self. And let's go ahead and evict our family and then get started. Now the Sims 1 Goths have a net worth of about $35,000 with $25.42 in the bank. With this same tile for tile representation home and $25.42 in the bank, their net worth is $53. Since I will be doubling the size of their home, I will be doubling their bank account, so I'm going to have basically $107,000 to work with, give or take. Now I will go ahead and evict my happy Goths and then get started on the redesign. So I could just wipe the whole thing out and start all over, but I'm not going to do that. I am actually going to just do this. Now, like I said, I will be increasing it by 1.43, and I've already figured out some of the dimensions, not all of the dimensions, and I am just going to go ahead and rebuild. Okay, so it's not perfect, but that's basically the shell that I will be working with. So it's been a while since I have done a proper basement, so the first thing I am going to do is make sure that I have some area at least that is the highest it can possibly be. So that's going to be good enough for that. Now let's go ahead and cut away. Of course, always one tile from the edge. Now, because this right here is the highest it can be, we're going to page up real quick. Yes, all right. Make sure I have no floor tiles covering it, and grab our connecting stairs and push it down 3, right like that. And that is the proper depth. Let's hammer away those stairs. And dig to our heart's content. And just to remind you to get these to come out of wherever they are, we can either use the elevation tool or the flooring tool. I like to use the flooring. So first put it on the tiles that are where they belong. These drop down, and then fill them in the rest of the way. And for an exterior, you have to drag, it works better, and then fill in the rest of the way. And now let's come up with a floor plan. So I do like to start with the staircase, because the staircase basically is what will determine the rest of my floor plan. And I want to go ahead and use this Gothwise staircase from Iron Smith because it just makes sense. And we're going to place it right there. It's going to have the same placement as the original TS1 house, and not because I'm in love with it, it just makes sense. And we're going to go ahead and do a 4x5 bedroom here for Cassandra, and she'll have her own little bathroom. There's going to be another bathroom here for Bella and Mortimer and their bedroom. And down here we will have the main living area in the octagonal room. And over here, this will be a galley kitchen with a breakfast nook. This is going to be the formal dining room. As a matter of fact, I do want to go ahead, and I do say that if you're going to use diagonal walls, use them judiciously. Obviously, this already had the turret, so we're going to use a few more diagonal walls. And we're going to section this area off, and it will be a guest/mother-in-law extension with a bedroom and a bathroom and a little bit of a living area. So that could, of course, be a third bedroom, or, like I said, a guest/mother-in-law extension. Now, whether or not I have room for or budget for a finished basement, most likely not, but we're going to go ahead and make sure we have access to it. That way we can finish it at the end. And we are going to finish things off here with a couple half walls from Nightlife. This one here, as well as this one here. Right now I have a kitten on my shoulder, and she's about to pat at the screen because she's annoying that way. Hi, Daisy. Hello. I know. So I worked quite a bit to get the exterior just the way I wanted. I used the Life Stories shingles and the windows and doors from Nightlife, as well as these bay windows from the Mansions and Gardens. Now, if you just put these on top of each other, there is a gap here. So I used the cornices to fill in the gap, and it actually takes 2 levels of cornices to do that. But that way you get that, and this window pulls together the trim as well as the dark windows, so everything really works well together. Now I did obviously add this third floor, but that was just to give it much more of a presence. I'm not planning on using that third floor, but in the event you want to, it is outfitted for witchy use. So if Bella does choose to become a mystic, like her bio in Bustin' Out reads that she should be, she can Magivestium up there. I kept most of the house with a lot of red in it, simply because that is Bella's theme color. It's also very gothic, very moody. Over here in the guest slash mother-in-law suite, we lightened it up just a little bit. But for Cassandra's room, we went dark because, as we all know, she is the gothiest goth to ever goth. And now I get to furnish it, and that's going to take me a long time. So when you read Gunther Goth's TS3 bio, it says he grew up with money. So clearly he would give money to his son Mortimer, and now I think the house befits that. It no longer is just barely larger than the newbie house. It's no longer smaller than the Meshuggah house or the Pleasant house. And it's definitely not the largest house, but it's no longer tiny, and it no longer looks out of place for somebody who has the social status that the Goths are supposed to have. So I did not have an extremely large budget for a house this size. Yes, we like to think that Gunther and Cornelia started them out, but that was a start. It wasn't buying them everything their hearts could desire. I did show you the exterior. Very pleased with how that worked out, including the turret with the magic room should Bella choose to enter that, but otherwise there's no way to get up to the third floor. Okay, and as we enter the front door, we see a chess set, and I put the half wall with the spindles in because I felt it was really much gothier. To the left, I have the dresser with the telephone on it, as you know I like, and to the right, we have the guest room extension. And we have a nice little sitting area here with some games and TV and a bookcase. Through here is the bedroom. It's pretty airy with the boho bed from Apartment Life. The adjacent bathroom is done in tans, basically to complement that. Now, as we go back through the front entryway, we have another set of double doors, which leads into the more formal area where we've got a bar, a piano, and the required fish tank that is found in every goth home. And as we go back out, diagonally across the hall, we have access to our little breakfast nook and the little galley kitchen. Cooking is done for sustenance, not enjoyment in the Goth house, but they do like a good dinner party. So we have a very fancy schmancy dining room, of course done all in red because you know I love a red dining room. And Bella loves red. And going out from the dining room, we have access to the stairs both up and down. So let's go up. And we are presented with the upstairs hallway. We'll go around the corner and down this hall. And let's just go ahead and check out the master first in various shades of red because, again, this is Bella and we love Bella and we want Bella to be very, very happy. And the bathroom here is done in the red tiny tile. With the blush fixtures. back out into the hall, we have access to Cassandra's room, and like I said previously, she's the gothiest goth to ever goth. Since she's wearing black and white, her bedroom is black and white. And she has a black, white, and blush bathroom to coordinate. Now in the yard there are no gravestones, unfortunately, but we have the ability to make gravestones from random passers-by. And I did run out of funds, so the basement is pretty much empty, but it gives opportunity for expansion as you need it. So let's put the Goths in and see what they think. So I totally didn't go overboard with decorating it, but they only have 107,236, and the house is 106,291. So both Mortimer and Bella are going to need jobs. I'm just saying. All right. Moving into number 5 Sim Lane. Overall, I think it gives the same feeling as the original house did, but just bigger. But overall, the presentation from the road, very much the same. Now, I know that TS2 Bella actually is a romance sim, as is the Strange Town Bella, but that never sat right with me, her personality. I made her a family sim, and she wants to reach her golden anniversary. I just think it's who she is. She's romantic with Mortimer. She's not a romance sim. You know, like Morticia and Gomez are romantic. I'm just saying. But Mortimer as a knowledge sim tracks 100%, so I kept him that. Of course, Cassandra is a grow-up sim, and this is, in all cases, their TS1 personality. And I love seeing a father and his daughter talk about politics, but yep, why don't the two of you get a little bit flirty, and why don't you actually ask her on a date, because we got things we need to accomplish. I always like to start with a nice caress before you engage in a very romantic tickle. And they have 2 bolts. Why don't you also give her an entertain? Beautiful. Now, how about a makeout, Mort? Wonderful. Wonderful. I think we should do something. Why don't we give the guest bed a test run here, kids? You'll like it. And no cinematic, because ideally they've already done it before. Not their first time. I do like the red undies on both of them. Very nice. Let's see, we got Julia Valentino and Betty Newby stopping by. Love to chat, but we got other things to do. Oh, and Bob Newby is here too. All right, and why don't you make that very important Headmaster phone call? Yep, we are sure. And he'll be over at 5, which is 25 minutes from now. Cassandra came home and made a beeline for her dollhouse. We love that for her. Time for the Headmaster to be here. Why don't you put on some shades there, Miss Bella? And let's go greet BJ Ryan with a kiss, kiss, darling. Go down the stairs and up the stairs. Kiss, kiss, darling. Oh, 37 points. Good start. Why don't we give him a tour? And since they're still on a date, she's determined to be near the love of her life. And not the greatest room, so that's fine. He'll follow her into this room where, oh, great date. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. But let's see, the environment score is amazing, so let's go ahead and show him the room. Fantastic. Let's go into the sitting room and the guest room extension. That should probably get a good score. And another really good room. Okay. He's like, all right, it's fine. And let's go get some leftovers, because our little girl probably needs to eat. Why don't you come here, Cassandra? Are you relaxing? Okay, that's cool. Very cute. Look how nicely you blend with your bedroom. Let's get that shrimp gumbo. You actually don't need to eat, but show him this room. All right, he was happy with, and now why don't you call him to dinner? Oh, yes. Okay, leave the bouquet. Beautiful. And Cassandra, why don't you grab a bowl? And are you taking a shower? That's great. Well, why don't you come over here and sit? And oh, Mortimer, why don't you sit in this one here? Bella, yes, come join us. We'll just see how BJ likes this. Two of you don't need to eat. You got satisfied from your fantastic date. Well, Mortimer could stand to eat, but you're fine. We only need to come up with 16 points. Okay, so let's get this talking done. And all right, oh, 98 points. It looks like a success. Stand up, be congratulated, and there we go. And little Cassandra needs to learn how to do some homework, so we'll help her with that before we put her to bed. Of course, an impromptu dance party is never a bad idea, but why don't you ask your mom for help with your homework? Seriously? Okay. Hey, you want to help me with my homework, Mom? Yeah. Mortimer, why don't you grab a bowl? No. We still need to do that homework, but thanks for calling, Michael. And Cassandra got tired waiting for Mom, so we're just going to go ahead and clean things up. I think this is going to work great for our goths. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you soon in the pixelated world. And that's all I have to say. VK out.